All males give up control so easily. Among ducks, female cryptic choice has triggered a game of evolutionary one-upmanship.
Excellent.
At a wildlife sanctuary in Connecticut, scientists are only now unlocking the secrets of this bizarre battle of the sexes. Yale biologist Patricia Brennan has made a surprising discovery about the duck's basic sexual equipment. This may be a little embarrassing for the duck, but he's got nothing to be ashamed of.
So I'm going to avert the phallus of a Meller's duck. So right now we're in the breeding season, so he should be in peak development. And it just keeps going. I mean, you can see it just keeps unfolding.
A male duck's phallus is pretty peculiar. Sperm travels along a groove on the outside, and that groove gives the whole apparatus a corkscrew shape.
I'm just going to take some pictures of the phallus using a ruler so that I can compare it with what it's been in the previous weeks.
The phallus actually grows longer during the breeding season. In some ducks, it can grow to half their body length or more.
3 months ago, you wouldn't have seen this structure the way we're seeing it now. There was almost nothing there.
For Patricia, that ornate organ prompted a question. If the male's got such a fancy car, where does he park it? Incredibly, biologists had never really inspected the garage, the female duck's reproductive organs. In her lab, Patricia took a close look at specimens from a number of duck species, and she was amazed by what she saw.
This is a very elaborate oviduct, unlike that of any other bird that we know of.
Male ducks have such complicated genitals because females do too.
The female spirals in one direction and the male spirals in the opposite direction, so they actually do not match. And that is an indication to us that the female is somehow preventing males from easily achieving fertilization.
As with the female garter snake, this is another example of cryptic choice, a defense against forced copulation. The opposing spiral makes it more difficult for a male to have his way with her unless she cooperates.
Even if the male achieves copulation, that doesn't mean that he has to fertilize the eggs. We think that the female has these anatomical barriers in her oviduct, so this phallus basically will have to travel all this distance and bypass all these barriers in order to be successful at depositing the sperm.
Patricia believes that ducks are in the midst of an evolutionary arms race. The male's elaborate phallus evolved in response to the female's defenses.
One possibility is the males are just growing long phalluses to outcompete one another and be able to deposit sperm inside of the female more effectively. Another possibility, though, is that females are forcing the males into growing longer phalluses by placing barriers in their oviducts that don't permit the males to copulate as easily. Therefore, they have to elongate the phallus to be able to deposit their sperm. So bigger might not necessarily be better. We're not entirely sure right now. We're trying to figure that out.
The females seem to have the upper hand. In some duck species, up to a third of the copulations are forced, but they produce only 3% of the young. So while those pushy male ducks may think they control the mating game, evolution has given females the edge.